In just the last few weeks, one single open source project has completely taken over the entire AI conversation. It's racked up tens of thousands of stars on GitHub and just created this massive frenzy online. It's called OpenClaw, and it's promising to be an AI agent that can actually take action for you in the real world 24/7.
But with all this excitement, there's this huge question looming over it all. Are we actually looking at a revolutionary new tool here? Maybe a tiny glimpse of artificial general intelligence? Or is this just another case of the internet getting way too hyped up about the next shiny object? So let's try to separate the signal from all that noise.
The story of how OpenClaw got so big, so fast, it's a wild one. This is more than just a popular piece of code. It's practically a masterclass in how an idea can just capture the imagination of the entire developer community and go viral, seemingly overnight.
And just to give you an idea of how popular we're talking, the project has soared past 65,000 stars on GitHub. That happened in an incredibly short amount of time. This isn't just mild interest. This is a massive, lightning-fast adoption by developers all across the globe.
And get this, the hype got so intense that it actually started spilling over into the real world. As the YouTube channel Fireship pointed out, it literally caused Mac Mini sales to go through the roof, selling out everywhere. And that was all fueled by these rumors that you absolutely needed a Mac Mini to run this thing.
And to add to all the drama, the project went through this chaotic series of name changes. It actually started out as Claude Bot, but, well, that sounded a little too close to Anthropic's model Claude. After a legal threat from them, it was quickly renamed Malt Bot, which, let's be honest, nobody really loved. Finally, it settled on its current identity, OpenClaw.
All right, so now that we get the frenzy, let's cut through all that noise, let's peel back the layers and figure out what OpenClaw can actually do, and what's this, internet misinformation.
So on one side, you've got all the hype, right? People yelling, "This is AGI," or "You absolutely need a Mac Mini," or even, "This thing will build you a billion-dollar startup while you sleep." But the reality, well, it's a lot more grounded. It's a seriously powerful automation tool, sure, but it can run on a cheap cloud server, and its real superpower is saving you tons of time by automating all that repetitive grunt work.
Sam and Yasar came up with this fantastic analogy to explain it, probably the best one I've seen. He said to imagine taking the smartest AI you can find, giving it eyes to see your screen and hands to use your keyboard and mouse. Then you can just message it like a coworker to get pretty much any digital task done.
And this is the key differentiator, persistence. See, unlike a regular chatbot that just lives inside a browser tab you're going to close in 5 minutes, OpenClaw runs continuously. It remembers your past conversations, it can access your local files if you let it, and it's always on, just waiting for your next command. It doesn't forget.
Okay. So you're probably thinking, this sounds pretty powerful, but how hard is it to actually get this AI coworker up and running? Let's just do a quick high-level look at the setup process.
And while, there are a few technical bits, the core process is actually way more straightforward than you might think. It really just starts with a single command you paste into your terminal. After that, you connect it to your favorite AI model, and it doesn't have to be one of the super expensive ones. Then you just link a chat app like Telegram or Slack, and that's it. You just start talking to it to teach it who you are and what you need it to do.
In that conversational approach, that's really the whole magic of it. The entire way you interact with it is designed to feel natural, like you're just talking to a person. You're not writing complicated code or scripts, you're just chatting with it to delegate tasks, whether that's a simple little request or a really complex multi-step automation.
All right, now for the really fun part. Once this thing is up and running, what can this AI coworker actually do for you? Let's dive into some of the practical, real-world ways people are using it.
And the use cases here are incredibly cool and diverse. For example, you can set it up to be a proactive AI that actually messages you every morning to ask for your top 3 priorities. Or it can act as a project manager, automatically creating tasks for you in tools like ClickUp. It can even be a mini marketing team, taking a long YouTube video and automatically clipping it into a bunch of shorts for social media. From research and coding to controlling your smart home, the possibilities are just huge.
And Sam Yasar really hits the nail on the head as to why this is such a game changer. The old problem was always, what happens when my laptop is off? Your automations just wouldn't run. But because OpenClaw runs on a device that's always on, whether that's a Mac Mini or just a cheap server in the cloud, your automations finally have a place to persist. They can just keep running in the background 24/7 without you having to do anything at all.
Okay, now before you get too excited and rush off to install this thing, we absolutely have to talk about the fine print, because this is seriously powerful technology, and with that kind of power comes some pretty significant risks.
So, what are those risks exactly? I mean, giving an AI agent persistent 24/7 access to your digital life? That's not something you should take lightly.
There are really four big concerns here. First up is something called prompt injection. A cleverly worded, malicious email could potentially hijack the agent and make it do things you never asked for. Second, if you run it on your own computer without properly isolating it, it could theoretically access, change, or even delete all of your personal files. Third, your entire chat history with it gets sent to third-party AI companies, so it's not truly private. And finally, there's a real danger of accidentally exposing your secret API keys to the whole internet if you don't set it up securely.
Now, just for a little perspective, it's important to remember that OpenClaw isn't doing something that's entirely brand new. A lot of its core functions, like automating tasks between different apps, already exist in awesome tools like NN. And there are other agent platforms like GenSpark that offer similar features. OpenClaw's big innovation is really its combination of being open source, self-hosted, and having that simple conversational interface. It's that mix that seems to have really captured everyone's imagination.
And so, that brings us to the big final question, doesn't it? Is OpenClaw a truly revolutionary step toward the kind of personal AI assistance we've all been dreaming of for years? Or is it a powerful but, for now, pretty risky tool that's maybe best left in the hands of technical experts who really understand the security side of things? The truth is, the answer is probably somewhere in the middle, and that's something the whole community is going to be figuring out together over the next few months.